And welcome inside the Austin Convention Center for match number 2 of the second annual First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge. And next up, representing the MPSF, is number 8 ranked Stanford taking on number 15th ranked Lewis. Salima Rockwell along with Matt Prosser here courtside. Thanks for joining in on Volleyball TV. And Salima, we saw one great match already. This one should be another good one. Although Lewis a little bit under the radar right now. What do you expect to see in this match?
Well, I think Stanford has been playing every year better and better. They've had a strong start to their season, 4-0, a couple of big wins against Santa Barbara early on, and Lewis is coming in with a lot of players playing right now. You're going to see a lot of different names on the box score, trying some different things, and Coach Friend is excited about his lineup. He's got some depth, and he's not afraid to use it, so just expect to see a bunch of different names there tonight out of Lewis.
And on the other side of the net, Stanford, like you said, they've been working through some adversity as the program. This is their second full year in this new look Stanford men's volleyball program after nearly getting disbanded and dissolved 2 years ago. Speaking with Coach John Costi before practice today, he's just happy to be here.
Yep, and it's so great to see that program back to where it should be.
So we're going through this introduction of our starters here from both sides. Currently, Lewis will be on the right side of your screen as we see the list come up here of our starters. And something interesting right out of the gates from Lewis is that they've got 8 names in their starting group. That's because they're using the 2 libero system. So they're going to be running 2 liberos. They've essentially got 8 starters, Salima. What kind of wrinkle does that throw in against Stanford here?
Well, it's a different system, and it definitely changes things. Who's in the court at what time? Who's a better passer? Who's a better defender? So it'll be fun to watch and see how that develops as it comes out.
Nico Pala and Jason Gibbs are the 2 players wearing the black jerseys as those liberos. It is a system that we've seen. Maybe one libero comes in to pass,
right,
and then another libero comes in to play defense, right? So it'll be, and they can do that. That's basically the definition of the name, libero,
right.
Free player. They can come in and out without any substitutions. So not commonly employed in the collegiate system or even the professional system, but it'll be interesting to see how Lewis can do it.
It'll be fun to watch. It's something different that not a lot of people see often, so it'll be fun to watch tonight.
And meanwhile, for Stanford University, making the trip down from Palo Alto, coming into the season with some high hopes, high expectations. We talked about last year the adversity that they dealt with before the season started. Coach Costi just sneaking in to the season with a team, so now he's happy that he's had this core group back in the gym with some time and then some newer additions that he was actually able to recruit and bring on board.
It's the whole thing just surrounding Stanford, the entire volleyball community just supported bringing them back. It wasn't just important to that team, not just important to Stanford. It really is important to the sport of volleyball. There's so much history at Stanford University in the volleyball programs, the men and the women's programs. So everyone rallied to bring them back, and it's just awesome to be here and to be able to see it live.
National championships at Stanford, Olympians, professional players that have represented the university around the world. So yes, it was a huge hit to the sport, but everyone rallied together, as you said, showed great solidarity, figured out a way to make it happen. It's terrific to see them back in action. Going through last year, they're coming off of 2 victories over UC Santa Barbara, which are good quality wins for their club and their team, and looking forward to really testing themselves in a very competitive MPSF against the schools UCLA, USC, Pepperdine. That's going to be a competitive conference out there on the West Coast, and Stanford's going to have their hands full against their competition.
They are, without question, but the coaches see them as one of the players in this year's season. It's good to see them ranked where they are and the respect among their peers, so they know they see something in Stanford that could be one of those teams that's really good at the end and fighting for that championship.
Now, just about to get underway here from the Austin Convention Center. It's going to be Lewis in the white jerseys. There's a glance at their head coach, Dan Friend, as we are just about underway. Lewis serving first here, taking on the Cardinal of Stanford University, Cole Brillhart, to get us underway. Good pass in. Back row attack from Stanford, and that ball goes out of bounds. The attack error from Theo Snowy.
The entire team wants a touch. It's early on. It's the first point.
And the very first play of the match, we are going to get a challenge from Coach John Costi. I thought Coach Pavlik went early on that first point of set number 4 in the first match, but I've never seen a challenge on the first play of a match, Salima.
You know, if you're sure and everyone's side and you want them, every point is important. I think that's kind of the message here. Every single point is important. And, you know, hey, why not?
We do have the video challenge system set up here in the Austin Convention Center, so we don't have a good feed to look at, but we'll get a glance down there at the officiating table as they review the video evidence. Looking for a touch on the block of Lewis, which was called, the attack was initially called out of bounds. But you're right, pretty much the entire Stanford team saw the touch, as did the video challenge system, so overruled. Coach Costi wins that first challenge of the match, and Stanford takes the lead.
Yeah.
And we all get a little bit of a laugh.
There you go. It's great. I told you, points are important.
So 1-0 Stanford. And Nathan Litsky will serve. Setter out of Austin, Texas. Blocked and covered. Lewis is able to get the ball over the net. Through the middle. Continued. Side to Rotman, one of their star players, and Rotman scores down the line. And Stanford wins that first extended rally of the match.
Well, Stanford has such a great player in Justin Liu. We'll talk about him a lot in the libero position. He's just taking care of every ball, wants to make everything perfect, and I think that's going to be a big difference maker for them.
Litsky with another good jump serve. Side attack blocked. Diving save to keep the ball alive. Second chance now for Stanford. Big attack out of the back row. Lamp can't find the floor, but the counter attack from Lewis sails out of bounds, and Stanford will take the point.
Talk about that big attack. A little bit far for Lamp. He was really stretching to try and make a play on that. Had to tip it to keep it alive.
Tempo dependent is that big attack, but so important in men's volleyball now. Expect to see them find that rhythm as this match continues. Litsky on a good service run here to start. High ball set to the left side, tipped over. Litsky gets the dig. Libero goes into set to Rotman, and Rotman going up and over the triple block, throwing that one down for the point.
Well, and that's a play you see a lot in this game where that ball is high and tight, out of system. They can just push it down, get on top of the ball, and find that empty space in the floor without having to even swing at the ball.
Will Rotman, a 6'6" senior out of Santa Barbara, California. Overpass now, chance for Stanford. Quick attack, gets dug. Blocked back but recycled. Another chance for Lewis. That's Max Rocky getting the ball off the block and down for the point, and a much needed side out for the Flyers.
Lewis scrambling over there, keeping the ball alive, trying to stay in these rallies, these long rallies, and then just be smart with what they're doing with the ball.
Here's our first look at middle blocker Michael Sack, wearing number 17. Float serve over to Stanford, and then the quick attack by Nathaniel Gates scores.
Perfect pass.
Both teams trying to establish their middles off that perfect pass offensively, like you said. Here is Rotman. High toss, strong jump serve, and it's an ace. Rotman getting a service ace on his first attempt of the match.
Rotman, such a heavy hand, ripped the ball with this jump serve. And Costi's going to want him to serve this ball tough. He has got his own serving philosophy with his team, which we'll talk about a little bit as well. So every coach here with a different philosophy.
Rotman takes a little bit off that one and just spins it in. Good deflection on the block. Right side attack gets dug as well. A chance for Lewis. That one's ours.
Got it. me.
Christian Prayer comes flying out of the back row. The left-handed attacker goes hard off the block to score that point.
He's been playing well this season so far.
A jump serve goes out of bounds from Kevin Calling. So service errors creeping in against Lewis early on here in this match. Now Gates at the inline for Stanford. Up by 5. Gets Lewis on the run. Prayer misses that time from the left side going cross court. Hitting error gives Stanford their 8th point. And Lewis, feeling the pressure, calls a very early timeout. Down by 6 points. Coach Dan Friend wants to talk it over.
There's a couple of things going on. First, Stanford serving tough right now. They've been able to handle the ball and control the ball really well on their side of the net. And every time the ball goes over the other side, Lewis is scrambling a little bit. They're making plays, they're keeping it alive, but not able to get quality swings. And that's going to be the difference. They have to be able to find the court, find some good swings. And with Stanford's pressure, it makes it a little bit difficult right now for them.
Now it all starts with the pass, like you said. Got to be in system right now. Stanford doing a good job keeping the pressure on them from the inline, giving away a bunch of points by missing serves. So we'll see how that game within the game develops throughout this match. Through a few technical difficulties here on our side, but bear with us, please. And at the conclusion of that timeout, Stanford back to serve. Nathaniel Gates will get us back to action. Goes with the jump float serve, another out-of-system pass. Against the flow, blocked but covered. Bump set to Prayer. He goes high off the hands. Rotman's there with the dig. But it's Lamp once again from the left side on the counterattack to score.
Well, it's been good. Rotman in the back row, staying deep, knowing that ball's going to be touched off the block. They have to hit high and flat in those hands, and they're able to transition to the outside with a little bit of room between the block.
So Stanford keeping the pressure on Lewis right now. Another good float serve, better pass. Quick attack that time by Lewis. Tyler Simpson scoring his first point in the match through the middle. That's something Lewis has to do when they get the pass up to the top of the tape. Establish their middle attacker, Salima.
It's the key for everybody. If they can pass the ball well, get the middle going, create some space for those pins. Good
service pressure, but a better pass by Lou. There's an overpass to Stanford. Big right side swing by number 7, Theo Snowy, just goes high and over the block to score.
He's been so good so far this season. Coming into this weekend, second in kills for his team, hitting .402. So playing really well right now.
Pretty good hitting percentage for a right-sider. Goes to the jump serve, but doesn't make it over that 8-foot net.
Simpson back to serve for Lewis.
So the middle blocker for Lewis, Tyler Simpson now at the end line. Saunters up with that jump float serve. Rotman out of system, bump set to the left side. Still alive here. Prayer goes with that whip of a left hand down the line for the point.
Winds up, gets on it fast. He has to hit it flat and around the block. You see him find that space right between the block and the antenna.
So Christian Prayer off to a bit of a hot start here. It'll be an interesting riddle for Stanford to solve. Good pass. Oh, he misses that time. So a hitting error from Stanford brings Lewis to within 4. Tyler Simpson on a bit of a service run from the end line, utilizing that jump float hybrid. Pass by Rotman through the middle, deflected, played up on 2. Good deflection by the Stanford block. Rotman on the bit, but it's a backcourt violation. So the lead has nearly evaporated like ice cream on a hot day, Salima.
Stanford running a lot out of the back row. 1 error out of the D-ball, 1 back row over call.
Another good serve from Simpson. A free ball from Stanford now. Advantage Lewis. Left side. It's Brillhart scoring hard off the block. And Lewis is right back in it.
Right back in it, serving tough, but the passing has been okay on the side of Stanford. They're handling the ball all right. They just made a couple of unforced errors, and now Lewis really finds themselves in a good spot.
Clearly, John Costi not calling a timeout to try to defer this momentum. Save there. Lewis able to get the ball back over the net. That pass a little too tight. But the one-handed set from Litsky to the middle attacker, number 10, Kevin Lamp, to score the point. Excuse me, that was number 9, Ethan Hill, getting the kill.
Up. He was ready. The ball was just teed up in the air, and he was ready for that quick attack on the one-handed set.
Middle blocker gets rewarded for being up and available. Pass that time. Overhead. Prayer goes for the tip, but misses Rotman's arms. It's called out of bounds. I think we're going to see a challenge come in, though, from Dan Friend. So we'll see.
Lewis was pretty sure, but I don't know if we'll see it.
Very interesting here. Interesting gamesmanship early on here. Rotman adamant he didn't touch it. No honesty card to be played this weekend where Rotman gives the point back to him, as we see in some other professional leagues around the world. But
it also is pretty important that your players are sure. They're confident with, I'm sure somebody touched the ball. Like if you're the side challenging, because you lose that challenge, it's a big one, and it's super early in the match.
So we'll see as the third official is over at the table reviewing the video evidence. We don't have access to that video, so we'll sit in suspense just as you are and everyone here in the Austin Convention Center. Big point, big momentum point for Lewis if they're able to get this one. And a big sigh of relief for Stanford if they're able to keep it. These are one of those plays that Rotman will be adamant he didn't touch it,
right?
But it may look on video as if the ball last touched his forearm.
Right.
Look at the call come in here.
John Kerr on the 50 Lions, 20 kills at Penn State. It's the bench.
Final clarification, and the ball is awarded to Stanford. So the call will stand, and Lewis will lose one challenge of their 3.
It's a tough one, and you know when you can't see it, or if it's inconclusive, or certainly it didn't happen, then that call's going to stand.
So 12 serving 8 now. Stanford trying to build up that lead. Lamp at the end line. Left side attack from Lewis. Cole Brillhart misses into the angle. And Stanford gets another point back.
Stanford's got a good block set up in a really nice position, forcing Lewis to try and reach high, have to hit high hands, or try to hit flat and around it.
Kevin Lamp, the 6'6" senior out of Lake Bluff, Illinois. Serve in, but Lewis stays in system. And it's Michael Slack scoring the point through the middle.
We talked about this earlier, Lewis getting that ball to the middle of the court, seeing they can generate some of the offense through that middle of the court, put some stress on the block of Stanford.
Christian Prayer now, the lefty. Good, strong jump serve. Catches the net, passed well. Snowy gets blocked, but there's a cover by Litsky. Here comes Rotman into the block. Played up, though. Counterattack from the back row. Dug by Lamp. Rotman a little early on that one. Has to tip it through the block, but gets it down.
Rotman really using a lot of his different shots. Tips, throwing the ball around. We know he can swing at it. He's got a hammer of an arm, but it's nice to see some variety in the shots, especially when it doesn't have the hard swing.
Ethan Hill, another 6'7" redshirt junior, goes with the jump serve, but just misses. So that service pressure that Stanford had at the beginning of the match has left them for the moment, as Brillhart will serve now for Lewis. Takes a little off, jump float over to Rotman, good pass. Attack through the middle, gets dug. Here's a chance now for Lewis. Big swing by Rocky, but it gets dug. Snowy out of the back row, and he finds the corner, splitting the defenders.
Beautifully executed play with a nice touch off the block, and you see Lou come in there, handle that ball perfectly, and get the ball to the freshman. I mean, this opposite, he's young, he doesn't have the experience the rest of these guys have, but they know he can score, and they want to give him the ball.
A big serve that time from Stanford, but handled well. Lou with a dig, but it goes over. Setter attack on two. Kevin calling the setter for Lewis that time, calling his own number to score the point.
Sometimes that's what you need to do. And block was there, but he snuck it inside of Rotman with his left hand, a little bit sharper of an angle than where Rotman was on that play.
An aggressive left hand indeed. Salima, the 6'8" setter, utilizing that size. Out of Naperville, Illinois. One-handed set from Litsky, but Rotman has to free ball it over. Squeaks it inside, and then once again, it's calling again. Back-to-back setter attacks for the point.
When Calling's in the front row, you got to watch out. He's a threat. He's been hitting at a really high clip before coming into this weekend, hitting at 571. He's good out of the front row. He can move the ball around. He's hard to read.
Trouble for Stanford. Wow. Great pursuit, and they get the ball over, but it's advantage Lewis now. Prayer from the back row gets it down for the point. Lewis starting to fire on all cylinders again, Selena.
They're playing well. They feel the momentum here, putting some pressure on Stanford, getting those free balls back, and again, they can do what they want, running that D-ball in the perfect pass situation, freezes the middle blocker so they can't get out there in time. They, again, 1-on-none.
And now Coach Costi, feeling that pressure, only up by 2, decides to use his first timeout of this opening set. And what's been a very back and forth game so far, and quite entertaining.
It's good because Stanford came out super hot, super ready to go, ready to play, putting the pressure on Lewis. And again, we always talk about how teams are going to respond, and to see Lewis kind of steady out here, play some better volleyball, do some different things, attack the ball at the net with the setter, and handling the ball well was a big difference in that kind of before the last time out, really putting him in this position.
And what do you like to see from Lewis is the response after being down early by a handful of points. They haven't fought back once, they've fought back twice to get to where they are now, down by 2 points here. Even after losing that challenge, they've stayed in it and they've continued to be aggressive. Back to it now. Ryan Collins, who's come in to serve, putting some good pressure on their opponent here. Let's see what he does after the timeout. Keeps it in play. Pass well by Lamp. Snowy from the left side gets the ball off the block and down for the point. Collins gets replaced for Michael Sack, so that substitution gets undone as Will Rotman prepares to serve for Stanford. High aggressive toss and gets on that one down the line. Prayer from the back row misses into the angle. And that hitting error gives Stanford another point.
And Lewis again trying to spread their offense, especially when the ball's off the net a little bit here, and Colin can't attack. He's got to move the ball around a little bit, and he's got Prayer back there who can score, but just missed that one.
Will Rotman roll shots that one in. From the left side, blocked and covered. It was Rocky, gets another chance, tips it over. But Stanford, middle blocker Gates, tries to play it with one hand and never do that as a middle. Don't play it with one hand, Salima.
And
two hands always.
Don't reach back. Don't play it with one hand. And, you know, Litsky was right there, and they've got to talk about who's going to play that ball. So that's an easy one to pick up.
Calling with a nice hybrid serve, gets the overpass. Goes through the middle. Simpson goes high off the block and out of play. Tyler Simpson, like I said, is 6'10". Sorry, that wasn't Simpson. He got the point as that attempt gets missed into the net by Kevin Calling, the 6'8" setter. A serving sub comes in for Stanford, number 23. Brule will serve. Well by Lewis, right side attack, gets rolled over but dug up by Litsky. Lamp against the triple block, gets covered. Lamp with another chance, tight set, goes for the wipe off the block but can't find it. Snowy from the right side, and he cuts that one too sharp.
Lewis just hanging in there, doing a nice job at the net, surrounding the block, putting Stanford in those tough situations, but had an opportunity there by Snowy, and he just cut it out of bounds.
Stanford reverses that service substitution, and now it's number 9 in white, Max Rocky, with a big jump serve, but that goes into the net. So Stanford with that 3-point advantage here in the second half of set number 1 is pretty key, but we've seen Lewis fight the whole way here. Stanford needs to add to this lead if they can, as Snowy goes with the jump serve. And he misses, so back-to-back service errors. Keeps Lewis within 2. Service sub Alex Leonard comes in. 6'8". Outside here. Whoa! Litsky throws that one down with the two-handed setter attack.
Wow, I went up strong. Ball was tight, both hands. Put it on the floor.
Emphatic point there by Stanford. Now up by 3. First one's to 20. Lamp with the high toss. Jump serve gets Lewis in trouble. Prayer swings away, but there's a dig. Chance for Stanford now to add. Rotman. The roll shot gets easily dug. Now the big attack from Lewis, and Max Rocky makes him pay. Now Rotman wants that attack opportunity back for sure.
For sure. Lewis was able to get a triple walk, get everybody back, and then have that big just coming up down the middle, coming in hot.
Prayer's serve goes into the net, and Stanford lets out a big exhale.
On Lewis, they can just put some pressure. 1 point scoring. They've missed every time they've gotten a side out, come back, miss the serve. Point scoring is going to be huge for them.
Aiden Peters comes in to serve, a native of Manhattan Beach, California. Serve in, better ball though, as Prayer goes down the line, catches the top of the tape, and then bounces out of bounds. Shows how much force is being put on that ball from Prayer, but an attack error gives Stanford 22-18 now. Peters with the jump serve. Ball in through the middle, big attack, and that time Lewis finds the floor. Max Rocky once again scores the point. Brillhart finds his team down by 3 as he prepares to serve. Goes to the jump float, right at Lamp, gets the overpass. Saved. Free ball back to Lewis now. Lou with another dig. Litsky sets from his knees. It goes over, and Lewis scores the point on that attack. Not too sure what happened there exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if he tripped or slipped, but got on his knees, still able to make the play on the ball, but couldn't keep it on their side of the net. Lewis within 2 again.
Lewis will not go away here. Down by 2 now. Catches the tape. Out of system Stanford. Here comes Rotman. And Rotman gets his feet to the ball and just hammers that one down for a point.
Too much heat. It's a great play on the side of Stanford, getting that ball up to Rotman so he can get his last 2 steps there and hit this ball hard inside the block.
Nathan Litsky now the setter. Born and raised in Austin. Back home for the weekend, but misses that serve long. Michael Sack serving now for the Flyers, down by 2. Looking for some magic here. Short serve, well passed though. Litsky one-handed back set, blocked and covered. Litsky goes quick. Doesn't get the connection. Chance for Lewis now. Oh my goodness, what a contact by Lou into the support stand with a full head of steam.
Oh man.
Doesn't make the play, but we got to see if he's okay.
He hit the stand pretty hard.
Serious collision. So Justin Liu's going to get looked at by the Stanford sports medicine team and make sure he's fit to continue, but that was quite a connection with that referee stand, so give him a few moments to catch his breath here, but you got to appreciate the effort. That was
he
quite
was
a
going
contact.
hard after that ball. He hit the side, his ribs, the side of his body on that stand at full speed. But he's back on the court and shaking it off. And
now he's going to continue, so applause for him, the effort. Stanford up by 1 now as Michael Sack serves. Go to Lamp. Off the net. Here comes Rotman from the right side on the high ball, and he places that one nicely down the line. And now Stanford's at set point.
Really nice shot by Rotman. Didn't have to hit it hard. He just saw the defense, went up and just chopped it down in front of it.
Now Lewis decides to utilize their second and final timeout of set number 1. Try to ice the server a little bit. Talk some strategy. I'm still a little shaken up by that collision by Justin Liu. That could have been really, really bad, but good for him to get up and gather himself and stay in the game. But
Coach Costi was just saying how, I asked him a little bit about Lou before, and he said how he just every time he goes home, he comes back with something new he wants to work on. He thinks about something he wants to focus on specifically to get better, and he just said he's always working on his craft and really perfecting his craft, and that's what makes him so good. And he's fighting for that national team libero spot. He really wants to to do that in Canada.
Justin Liu, a 5'10", redshirt senior, native of Pickering, Ontario, Canada. So looking to continue his playing career once he's done with his education at Stanford. But it's something to know that and state that after that collision, Lewis didn't serve him.
No, they
went away from
away.
him. So that says something about his capabilities.
Absolutely,
right?
went from passer hitter.
All right, so after the timeout, it's 24-22. Will Rotman serving, first opportunity at set point for Stanford. Big aggressive serve, nice pass. Combo play from Lewis, something you don't see anymore, but it's Max Rocky scoring the point.
Coming in for that inside two, running the middle on a 31 and just bringing him straight up the pipe. I mean, hey.
Can't tell you the last time I saw someone run that play.
I love it.
Set point number 2 for Stanford now. Lamp from the left, and it's a block for Lewis. Prayer and the middle where there's Simpson to shut it down. And now Coach Costi steps in and calls his second timeout. Tied up at 24 apiece.
Those are the moments, that you have it. You're 24-22. You want to finish it. Let's finish it right now. And all of a sudden, it's all tied up. And that's, again, the men's game where anything can happen quickly.
Well, opening set, overtime volleyball here. Going to be a deuce game, and I mean, credit to Lewis. They have fought from behind the entire way here in this opening set and stayed in it. They've been aggressive. They've scored points. They've worked hard, and they've gotten themselves right back into it now.
They never, ever let up. I mean, that's Dan. If you know Dan Friend at all, I mean, that's how he operates. He loves coaching his team, loves his guys. He encourages them constantly on going all out all the time. And even if they might lack something in some position, size, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They're always going to go hard till the end.
Well, Lewis currently ranked at 15th in the nation. Coming out of the MIVA. Always fighting and scrapping in that conference with Ohio State, Purdue, Fort Wayne, just to name a few. We're back to action now, tied up at 24 points apiece here in set number 1. Good pass in from Luke. Quick attack gets dug. Chance for Lewis down the line, and it's once again Max Rocky scoring the point.
Started off with that dig from the middle attack. That was Grillhart back there choosing the right side. Perfect dig.
Calling serving at set point now. They go to Lamp, he tips it over the block, picked up, bump set to Prayer, off the block and out of play, and Lewis comes back to take the opening set 26-24.
What a rally back for Lewis. Unbelievable volleyball, just playing hard, going after it the entire time, smart with what they were doing all the way to the end.
Wow, what a statement made by Lewis, and Stanford must be sitting there looking at each other like, what just happened?
It started to get away from them, and at a certain point, they were so far ahead, and Lewis kept coming back, and I expected the score to be closer, and then it wasn't. And so I think Stanford felt pretty comfortable. They still had a pretty decent lead, and once Lewis could start point scoring, get it going from the service line, playing defense, well, that was the difference.
Well, now the real question will be is what does Coach Costi say to his team to get them to respond? Because they were in the driver's seat for the majority of that opening set. As we look at the statistics here, Salima, and there they go, obviously, unfortunately. What stood out there? Did you see any of those quick enough?
The biggest thing, Lewis ended up out-attacking, out-hitting Stanford. I think early on it was about the first half of the set, they were definitely not. So that changed significantly. They got the middles involved as well. Lewis was able to get their middles going a little bit. So that was another change. But they just played hard. They scrapped on defense, and I think a lot of the stuff they did, you really didn't see on on the stat sheet.
They did scrap a lot, and as you said, that's a bit of their MO, right? It's the culture that Dan Friend creates for his program. And one play that stands out to me was Will Rotman with a shot in transition. He went with the roll shot that was easily handled by the back row player of Lewis, and then they turned it for a point. And that was perhaps where the tables turned. But credit to Lewis for staying in, not giving up, down 7-2, I believe, early on after losing that early challenge on the first point of the set. But that just might set the tone for what we can expect for the entirety of this match here.
Absolutely, and just believing and knowing that you can do it, you know, it changes everything. Not saying they didn't beforehand, but being in that changes your demeanor, changes your vibe, coming back on the court, how you're feeling about yourself and your game. So Lewis is in a very good position right now, and Stanford needs to just kind of regroup. You know, this is a very talented team that showed early on how good they are, and I would expect nothing but them to respond and respond in a positive way. Lewis ended up with 18 kills in that set. Stanford with 13. So Lewis hitting 293 and Stanford 265. Lewis out point scored 46-41.
Yeah, so it really came down to the attacking differences between these two teams in that opening set. Stanford winning the service ace battle from the inline, but better hitting and attacking from Lewis. So very interesting to see now how this second set unfolds here from Austin, Texas. So the teams are back out onto the court. We're staying on our respective sides. No switching of ends between sets. Just a slight wrinkle here in this Collegiate Challenge this year, the second annual First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge. Promoting the sport of men's volleyball for more people to get access to, as Kevin Lamp will serve first for Stanford here in set number 2. Service error gives Lewis the 1-point advantage. So Michael Sack for Lewis at the end line. And returns the favor. So slightly different start to set 2 than we saw in set number 1.
Definitely.
But at least we're even. Ethan Hill with the aggressive jump serve, gets the overpass, jousted at the net. That set too tight for Rotman, but the ball's kept alive. Simpson with the wrist away gets dug. And now Snowy from the back row.
Hold on.
Rocky's got an ankle that he's holding on to, and that would be bad news for Lewis if he can't continue.
Yeah.
So Max Rocky's going to get looked at by the trainer really fast. Came down after that block.
At the end of the last set, coming in hot out of the back row, really getting him involved a ton in that last set. We'll see if he can put some pressure and some weight on that ankle. It didn't look like anyone, he stepped on anyone or anything. I think he kind of did it on his own.
View on it, but you can't tell if he's wearing any ankle protection. He's walking off the court, but a noticeable limp.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to get replaced. Number 22, John Davis, is going to come in, a 6'5" redshirt junior out of Naperville, Illinois. Will replace Rocky. So let's hope that Rocky is okay and perhaps can come back into the match after getting looked at by the training staff. Volleyball's a physical sport, and sometimes injuries happen.
It does, and it's a That's a big one. He's actually leading the all players in points right now.
He was errorless in that opening set. 7 kills on 18 attempts, 0 errors. So that'll be a big loss for Lewis right now.
But as Dan Friend said, they're used to playing different players. He's pleased with his depth and that he's got players that can step in and step up. So we'll see how John Davis does.
Chance for Davis. So back to action now. Jump serve from Hill. Prayer goes with the back row attack, and a touch is called. And Lewis gets the side out. Lewis with a good support staff in the crowd here on hand. It's Kevin Calling, the setter, goes for the jump serve. Good pass in from Lou. There's the big attack from Lamp. Ball is dug, but it goes out of play. Stanford showing some good rhythm out of the back row that time.
Fantastic rhythm out of the back row. They've been working on that big attack and saw it in practice a couple of times, and so that's something that's an integral part of their offense.
So 3 serving 2, Litsky at the inline. Prayer from the left, Litsky gets the dig. Lou steps into set over to Rotman. And Rotman sails that one long. Looking for fingertips, but didn't find any.
Good defensive effort and a nice set. He just missed that one.
John Davis got the serve for the Flyers.
Davis freshly inserted in his first service attempt now. And he misses into the net. Now Rotman, let's see what he can do for Stanford. Gonna go on a run, overpass. There's a chance now. Lamp from the left side, he finds the seam and scores.
Starts off with that serve, like forces this opportunity for Stanford, getting that ball quickly to the outside. They're able to handle the ball well on that free ball.
And credit Rotman from the inline with that service pressure resulting in the overpass. See if he takes a little off this one. Hits that one into the net. So a few too many service errors from both teams here to start set number 3. And that momentum and energy has clearly been taken away from the Lewis side after that ankle injury to Rocky. No system, Stanford has to highball it. Prayer goes with a two-handed attack and gets the point.
A couple of out-of-system plays where Stanford just ends up setting that ball a little bit too tight to the net. And somebody that's not used to setting it, not Litsky, they have to clean up some of that out-of-system
stuff.
Well,
it's this serve of Tyler Simpson that has gotten Stanford out of system quite a bit. Snowy from the right side gets the side out down.
Lewis Walk wasn't able to close in time because of the perfect pass. You talked about the serve, and when you can steady out and get that pass, and that's what the difference between that last serve, a little bit less movement on it, a little less action on it, more true to a passer.
So Gates now at the inline for Stanford goes with a jump float at Davis. High ball to the left side. Triple block, gets recycled and over. Chance now for Stanford. Quick attack through the middle. It's Ethan Hill hammering that ball wrist away.
Hill is just so fast off the floor. Quick, he's twitchy, gets on it fast. I mean, that is a true zero tempo ball.
And at 6'7", middle blocker, a bit undersized in today's game. Hard to say as I'm 6'7" as well. But right back through the middle goes Lewis. And it was Michael Sachs scoring the point that time.
Trading blows out of the middle of the court.
Christian Prayer now, he lines up on that left side of the court as the left-handed server, but goes too strong that time, and this is the inline. Dio Snowy, a freshman out of Berkeley, California, getting some very important early career reps as his jump serve goes just long.
You can tell this young man has quite a future. He's big, he's physical, he can score. And with time, even by the end of the season, he's going to be a different player.
And Cole Brillhart now, the jump float. Passed well by Lamp. Lamp on the left side, gets controlled. Colling goes back out to Davis. He gets dug. Litsky to Snowy. And Snowy, like you said, the big physical young opposite, scores the point.
So good out of the back row. And again, he can be up and down a little bit, sometimes make an error here and there, but that comes with experience and comes with continuing to get better with his team.
It's a big jump from junior volleyball straight into D1 as a true freshman. Regardless of your size or experience, it's just you're playing against more experienced players, very athletic guys, and it's a different realm.
Right.
Rotman goes with the off-speed shot that time and finds the open court.
See Gibbs trying to make that play and a cut right in front of Brillhart, who was right there and in that position to play the ball.
Lamp back to serve. Stanford with that 3-point lead here in set number 2. Big serve. Well past Davis from the left, and he goes high and hard to score.
Davis is looking for those hands. He's got a big block in front of him, and he had some work to do, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do with that ball. Pulling right off the hands.
Lewis will go to a serving substitution here at 8 serving 10. Ryan Collins comes in. And an injury update from their bench as well, Salima. Max Rocky has got his shoe on. He's testing it out over there. We'll see if he'll come back in or not, but Stanford with that back quick. Ethan Hill scores the point to get the side out.
And Hill is almost automatic right now. He just beats you with speed. It's not necessarily the physicality or anything else, but just beats you off the floor. You almost have to full commit on him to be able to slow him down.
As he goes for the jump serve, but misses into the net. So here's the setter, Kevin Colling. Jump serve out of the middle back position and gives the ball right back with that service error.
Okay, we talked about the game, the service game, right? We talked about it even in the last match, and that threshold. And everyone has different thresholds of how aggressive they want their team to serve. What is that balance?
Let's get with the jump serve. Catches the tape. Passed well by Davis, though. Through the middle, Simpson gets dug. Set over to Snowy against the triple block. A bit of a compromised position, but Lewis scores the block point.
That's a big block in front of him. That was Tyler Simpson really got most of that. He was right there in front of him.
John Davis missed his first serve of the match. See what he does here. Takes a little off, placed it right on Lamp though. Rotman from the right side, and Rotman hammers that ball well over the block of Brillhart and down for the point.
Yeah. He was able to see that. That's a tough matchup right there in that rotation. Getting that ball to the right side of the court. That's a Rotman point.
So Rotman in that 0-1 positional attack on the right side and then go back to serve. Aggressive serve down the line right at Brillhart again. High ball, 3-man block, deflected. Litsky's there. Hold on as we got another collision. This time Rotman comes into the broadcast booth. He's okay though, and we're fine.
Yeah,
Salima's okay.
I'm okay.
And we'll move on.
Good effort by Stanford and smart shot off the block by Brillhart, knowing he had to tool or do something cagey against that block. Was able to come away with that point.
So Alex Leonard has come in to serve. Number 10 in white, and he misses his serve long. Stanford going to their bench, calling on Brule once again to serve. 6'3" freshman out of San Jose, California. There's the jump serve. Gets it in play, so we'll see some volleyball. There's Prayer from the right side, and he hammers that one cross court for the winner.
Off of that perfect pass, getting him one-on-one. He's just tough to defend. It's always hard to defend a lefty anyway, but he gets off the floor nice. He's got every shot. We've seen him hit line, flat, deep, sharp inside the block as well.
There's not a lot of left-handed players out there. The angles were just a little bit different for the block to try to figure out as Hill goes up and gets slowed down. Another chance for Prayer. Goes to the tip. Lou is there, though. Rotman out of the back row. Dug up. Davis rolls it over. Here comes Snowy from the right side, and he finds the corner for the point.
Phenomenal defense. Lou was everywhere during that rally. 2 huge plays defensively on the transition swing for Snowy.
That takes us to our media timeout here at 15-12 in favor of Stanford. And Salima, not a lot of momentum going on at the moment. We've had an injury to Rocky. We've had a lot of missed serves in this second set. Might not be the most entertaining to watch, but it's just sometimes the nature of the game, you know, that you can't fault them for the effort, right? They're playing hard. You got guys coming into the broadcast table. They're being aggressive from the in-line.
A lot going on here, but I will say that missed serves have been significant, you know, so that slowed down the momentum. Something really going to happen, then there's a missed serve, and then something will happen, you know. So it's been a lot of that. And again, I talked to Coach Costi about his serving, and he talked about just really keeping obviously the errors down, but he wants to keep his point scoring high. So he doesn't like all of the aggressive serving consistently all the time. There is a balance for him in his gym and how they operate, but he does want them to be aggressive at times, but it's knowing when to keep it in, knowing who to serve at the right times. You know, so for him it's not an ace to error thing, ace to error ratio. He said that was pretty clearly. But you know, for Lewis, they're going for it. They have to rip some serves. They have to get Stanford off the net. You know, their offensive weapons are really strong, so taking a lot of chances.
Yeah, these two teams still trying to find themselves here very early on in the season. It's only January. Long way to go still as we get back to action now with Snowy at the inline. Pass in. Quick attack by Lewis. That time it was number 17, Michael Sachs, scoring the point.
That was what was really helpful for them in that first set. Got the middles involved. Got a lot of production out of that middle area of the court, but that was at the passing as well.
From the 3-meter line, Litsky goes out to Lamp. Grillhart's there, but can't control it as that ball goes up into the crowd and out of play.
Gibb makes a leap over the fans, the VIP section. Jumped right over him.
I was going to see another injury take place, and we don't need any more of those.
No, we do not.
What's slightly athletic was Jason Gibbs. As Kevin Lamp prepares to serve, still with that 3-point advantage for Stanford. And that service error will cut the lead down to 2. Jump float serve from Michael Sack, passed well by Lou. Litsky goes quick to Ethan Hill, and he scores once again. Perfect pass offense. First option, go quick, Salima.
Could have called it. It's working every single time. He's able to move it around a little bit. They're running some pushes. They're running right to him, right on the setter. So creating that space is making it even difficult for the middles to decide what direction to take. It's very hard.
Service substitution. Peters comes in, gets the serve in play. And Prayer once again from the backcourt hammers that ball past the block and down. serving now, looking to make up some ground, down by 2, gets a little bounce off the tape. Volley back and forth at the net. Here's Davis on the counterattack, but there's a nice block point by Gates. And Litsky that time.
Huge play by Gates, getting all the way over the net. He wanted that bad, and he could read it. He knew exactly what was coming, took away all the angles. Strong in that seam and strong in that cross court.
Nathan Litsky now. Toss jump serve, and his attempt doesn't clear the net. We're going to look for clarification on the record books for number of serves missed in a set here at the First Point Volleyball Challenge. I think we've surpassed it.
May have. We may have.
Davis goes with the jump serve. Out assistant pass from Lamp, though. They go outside to Snowy on the left side against a 3-man block, and he takes a very aggressive swing for the point.
That is a monster swing high into the block. He knew it was in front of him, and he had to hit it as hard and flat as he could to get it to go out of bounds.
Big aggressive swing that time by the true freshman. With a big serve. Lewis out of system. They go overhead. Prayer gets dug by Snowy. And then Lamp on the left side. Deflection and control. Roll shot. Dug up. Rotman steps into set. Snowy gets creative that time and makes a little something out of nothing as well.
Found a way. Found some space in that block. They tried to get a triple block up. Knew where the ball was going. Prayer couldn't get all the way there. Couldn't get over the net. Found some space.
And Dan Friend decides to call his first timeout, down by 4 points here as we get to the second half, or the business end of set number 2.
Business end.
Stanford winning a few of those longer rallies to build that lead, but both teams still missing a few too many serves.
See this crowd here. It's a really nice event with all these young players watching, the community in the stands really drawing the attention to men's volleyball, which it so deserves.
Yeah, and this Collegiate Challenge run kind of at the same time as a boys and girls junior event taking place here in the Austin Convention Center. 250 teams playing here this weekend over the 3 days, so plenty of volleyball action on hand. If you're nearby, get in the car, come on down.
Yep.
2 more matches tomorrow. Pepperdine, Penn State played earlier. But just a terrific venue and a terrific opportunity to showcase collegiate men's volleyball in the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
So back to it now after the timeout. Will Rotman will serve. Stanford up by 4. Shot serve passed well, and Lewis gets the side out.
Snaking it through there. The block was there. They anticipated the middle attack, but again, running it through the middle of the court, then opening it up.
So Tyler Simpson, who did good work for Lewis at the end line, gets ready to serve. A unique approach and goes to that jump float hybrid and gets him out of system. Lamp from the left side goes high and through the triple block, though, for the point.
Stanford coming away with that one out of system. That serve is giving them fits. It's just at a different angle. It's
the timing, the angle,
it's different.
The float to it, the hybrid, all of it's different, and it's working.
It's working, yep. But Stanford, that's the key. You got to be able to score out of system, high out of system on those balls.
Stanford makes their serve, so Lewis gets a chance, but it's Theo Snowy with the solo block for the point.
Diving into the angle, waiting for it, seeing the approach, and making a nice big move into that cross court.
And look at that. Number 9 in white is coming back into the match. Max Rocky went down with an ankle injury early on in set number 2, but he is now back on the court. He's in the back row. Good pass overhead to Pryor. He goes hard off the block and out of play. Side out for Lewis.
That's Hill with his hands facing maybe just a little bit towards the attacker, getting that ball deflected off of his hands out of bounds.
Pryor now has been on fire at the net. And the inline gets that ball in nicely. High ball to Lamp against the triple block, and he misses long. So Lewis sneaking back into this one, though. And now Stanford decides to call a timeout to talk it over, feeling some pressure from the team that just simply will not go away.
They won't go away, and now that the Rockets back in the game, he's feeling okay, it seems, and he's back in the back row, so I'm sure that'll give him some time to work that out a little bit. But that last swing, those are the unforced errors that Stanford can't afford at this juncture. It's only a 3-point game. They have a nice lead, but we've seen this before, and Lewis can absolutely work their way back into this. So
Coach Dan Friend specifically talking with his setter, Kevin Calling, through the entirety of this timeout right now about what kind of offense he wants his setter to run. Meanwhile, the morale boost that is Max Rocky coming back onto the court for Lewis, and the timing could not have been better. He's in the back row, so he's not a part of the offensive system at the moment. He's just got to find his bearings, get his balance, get his questionable ankle under him, and he'll come back into the front row in about 2 more rotations, but it'll be right at the right time for Lewis.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe he's all right and they set him a bic. We'll see. See what happens.
Wouldn't hold it against them if they did. I'd like to see it.
Maybe that was a conversation over there with Coach Friend.
Maybe, we'll see. So down by 3, trying to make another comeback. Pryor with a good serve. Handled well through the middle, and Ethan Hill has been on fire for Stanford in set number 2.
I mean, anything that's near the pocket, within 5, 6, 7 feet, fired in there. He's going to be up and ready and hit it fast.
So a big side out there for Stanford. Back to a 4-point advantage now for Snowy. He misses his jump serve, though. And now Cole Brillhart goes back to serve, a 6'2" outside hitter, perhaps a little undersized in today's men's game. Goes to the short jump float serve, passed well by Snowy. Lamp gets deflected and controlled. Calling on 2, steps back and swings away with that left hand, Salima.
Nice pickup and a good play offensively, too. That's what they need. A little bit change of pace, a little bit of different offense up there at the net.
So Lewis scrapping around, down by 2 points now. Brillhart once again at the inline. Goes a Lamp, nice pass, quick set to Hill. Gets control, chance now for Lewis. And they get it through the middle. It's Michael Sachs scoring on the counterattack.
First play, ball in, 2 blockers up with the middle attacks. So Lewis doing a really nice job, scout, understanding where the ball's going. We'll see if Stanford moves this ball around a little bit to either pin in the 2-hitter rotations right now.
Down by 1, goes over to Lamp. Good pass. Here's Snowy out of the back row. Hits the line seam past Rocky's block and down.
Well, that's the ball. When you start feeding the middle, you've got the left side blocker pinched in a little bit more. You're going to create that space for Snowy, who can absolutely thunder it out of the back row.
And now it's set point for Stanford, but Coach Friend calls his second and final timeout of the set. So that was Max Rocky's first block move at the net. And Theo Snowy hit past him to his right, his left side, which is his line seam. Watching Max Rocky walk around the court, clearly not 100%.
No. But certainly they won't let him back on if it's dangerous, whatever it is. It's hard. When you're a competitor, you've been there. I've been there. It hurts. You can play. You want to get back out there and you're cleared. You're going to go for it.
All played through plenty of pain in our time.
Yeah, it's not young players. It's not always the smartest thing in the world. But at the
we'll
same time,
so clearly he's a key component for Lewis. He's
absolutely
has to be on the court, still kind of testing his ankle limitations here and getting a couple reps at the end of this timeout. But it's now set point for Stanford after that timeout.
And friend having lots of conversation with his setter almost the whole time again.
So Stanford will have 2 chances here to take the second set to level this match. And it's Kevin Lamp at the end line. Strong jump serve right at Gibbs. Good pass in. Rocky on the tempo set gets the attack off the block and out of play.
Had a feeling they were going to go to him. He's not in there for nothing. But a fabulous pass.
Set point staved off by Lewis. And now Michael Sack will serve. Second set point chance. Makes his serve at Lou. Bump set from Litsky to Rotman. Deflected, controlled chance now for Lewis to go back to Rocky. He tips it over. Litsky goes left side, Rotman again, and he goes high off the hands down the line, and Stanford takes it. 25-23, set 2 victory to Stanford. And we're tied at 1 set apiece now, Selena.
That got a little squirrely at the end there. Lewis making their move back again. And again, in that set, Stanford stayed steady, did what they needed to do, but Lewis was closing that gap pretty quickly.
Now it just shows that no lead is safe against this Lewis University Flyers team. They will not go away. And even then, stayed within striking distance. But Stanford takes it nonetheless. Tied at 1 set apiece here from Austin, Texas. Not the cleanest of volleyball from both teams in that set. So now I'm kind of looking at you like, what are we going to talk about here? There was a lot of missed serves.
Right.
Slow momentum a little bit. Stanford was able to hold on to that 3-4 point lead advantage that they built kind of in that second half of the set.
Yep.
But really, Salima, for set number 3, I don't know what to expect here.
Well, I think, again, it's going to depend a lot on Rocket. See if he can come back and play even not at full strength, at almost full strength. That's a big difference maker. If he's confident that he can do it, they're confident in setting him. That just gives them another wrinkle to their offense, the back row attack that we saw in the first set. It was a lot towards the end of that set to win that first set. So I would expect he's back on the court, then you're going to see the same Flyer team you saw that first set, and we're gonna have a long night here.
Meanwhile, for Stanford, they got some good production from Ethan Hill, their middle blocker. I'd like to see them continue to capitalize on that connection because it's working
without
pretty much
question
every single time.
And when Lou is able to pass the ball, if he can get in the way of it, if he can cut something off and handle it, that's when they can get it going to him. They're trying to avoid him, trying not to serve him, except the big jump float. But at the same time, if he can get it anywhere in those seams and handle those balls, then they can get the middle going a little bit better. Get Snowing going again as well off the net, and then they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, Theo Snowy has been a solid contributor as well for Stanford from both pins, right side and left side, as the opposite attacker, front row and back. So good experience and solid playing by him for sure as a true freshman.
This is a Volleyball Magazine Fab 50 selection. He was silver medalist at the 2022 Junior National Championships. Made the all-tournament team. It's a phenomenal player, big physical player.
So currently sitting on 20 service errors in the match, which I know everyone wanted to know that number. So averaging 10 errors per set thanks to my math education.
You're smart.
Basic arithmetic.
I was told there'd be no math.
I didn't go to math school, that's for sure, but I can do that one.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, that's a ton of errors. Stanford is at 11 right now, and Lewis at 9. But both teams serving aggressive because they have to. But the point scoring is fairly low. Certainly as a result of all of that, 32% on both sides. Oh, they're identical. They're point scoring at 32.7, and they're siding out at 67.3.
And their total team blocks, 2 per squad. So really, I think right now it's coming down to hitting percentage. Stanford with a little bit of an advantage there.
But really, all of that momentum, the change, rocket off the court, like a lot happened there. So we'll see now that they're both at full strength again, where we're at.
And here we go. Christian Prayer will get us back to action here to start set number 3. Strong serve. Stanford gets it over. Brillhart from the left. He goes off the block and down, and Lewis takes the opening point.
Wow, started with that killer serve.
I like seeing Prayer start at the inline for Lewis with this left-handed heater of a jump serve that he has. A good one. Stanford out of system. High ball to Rotman against the 3-man block. Gibbs with the diving save. Prayer out of the back row, and he gets it done. Christian Prayer on fire to start set number 3. I know you're a celebrity around these parts, so you got a lot of pictures, a lot of signatures, a lot of hugs coming in. Fortunately for everybody at home, there's 2 of us here at the booth, so I got it handled. Kiss babies and shake hands. As Snowy attacks that one cross court for the winner.
It's nice to see so many people here in Austin, but I'm back. I'm locked into the match. I'm all in.
Just never know who's going to come ask for a hug or a photo with Selena Rockwell here. Brillhart tips it over. Rotman gets the dig. Lamp out of the back row. Dug over by Prayer. Picked up, though. Can Lewis get it back? Just a free ball now to Stanford. Gates gets it done that time. Finally, Nathaniel Gates scoring in transition.
Gibbs on the side of Lewis, just everywhere right now, scooping up whatever is being thrown to the middle of the court, trying to keep his team in it.
Ethan Hill from the inline goes up brilliant. Good attack from the back row, but then there's a net violation on Stanford. Well, started with that great pass from Cole Brillhart, keeping Lewis in system. Brillhart getting some extra motivation from his teammates there as his serve goes into the net for service error number 21 on the night.
Great score back to serve.
Tied up at 3s here in set number 3. Nowitzki makes his serve. Rocket goes hard off the block, and he scores his first point of set number 3.
Hard and fast into the hands of Gates. He was able to catch him before he was able to completely get over the net.
Sack at the inline, jump float, little hybrid, but right at Lou. Good pass in, and Snowy goes up to challenge the block and utilizes that swipe attack and scores.
Lou was alone in that serve receive pattern. Everyone else moved up, and he was kind of just hanging out in the middle of the court waiting for the jump float.
Told his teammates to step aside.
I mean, basically, yeah.
That's what liberos are for. Rotman aggressive with a serve, overpass right to Snowy, and he cleans it up.
Oh no, that Rotman can go on a run here, ripping these jump serves, moving it around the court.
Second serve for Robin, goes aggressive down the line, but misses just wide. And that's one of those good misses, Salima.
It is a good miss because someone could touch it, could get in the way of it, going hard after the passer.
Jump serve from Calling. Goes to Lou, left side attack to Lamp. And Lamp goes high off the hands for the point.
They're in system. They've got fast offense to the left side. It's hard for the middles to get there. They run it quick. Anytime that ball's right in the middle of the court, it's a big advantage for Stanford and the speed of their offense to the pins.
So middle blocker Nathaniel Gates goes with the jump float serve. Tight pass. Rocket can't do anything with it that time, and Stanford will score the point.
Oh, set tight. He tried to push it, tried to joust with it a little bit. Couldn't push it through the block.
That pass just a little bit too tight for the back row setter. Let's see what Gates can do for his second attempt from the inline. Keeps it in. Here's Prayer. His left side attack clips the antenna. So that ball's out of bounds, and it's a hitting error against Lewis.
Couple of tough plays for Lewis right now. Unforced error on the outside. You just need to steady out and clean things up a little bit here.
Gates on a nice service run now for Stanford. They've established a 3-point advantage. Prayer again against Snowy, and Snowy shuts it down for the block point.
Snowy completely over the net, and that ball that was kind of dying on the outside a little bit didn't give Prayer any room to hit that ball.
Theo Snowy making a case for the Salima Rockwell interview post-match with this nice block move. Gets his hands well over the net, and he's taken over this third set for Stanford. Lewis calls a timeout now, down by 4 here. Relatively early in the set to take a timeout, but sensing some momentum going to the opponent. Coach Friend wants to talk it over. So we'll see if that timeout gets Lewis to regroup a little bit.
Definitely seen it before. And
so Gates continuing this service run. Back to it. Goes at Rocky. Get out of system. Rocky gets the set and gets the point.
handle that ball and stayed on that side of the court. Didn't even try to fling it to the outside. You know, he's going to score. He knows what he's doing with the ball, so he might as well just lay it up there for him.
Let's see what he can do from the end line now. Lines up for the jump serve. Doesn't quite have that same pop in his jump as he started the match with, but makes the serve. Nice save, but the second contact will travel out of bounds, and Stanford will take the point.
Looks like Pryor's down a little bit.
Yeah, we have another Lewis player down on the ground. That's Christian Prayer. Couldn't see what happened as my view is obstructed.
I'm not sure. He's getting up pretty quickly. May have also been an ankle. I'm not sure.
Hard to tell, but he's going to get replaced. Syver Drolsom's going to come in. He's a 6'6" freshman out of Norway. Prayer able to walk off under his own power, but noticeable limp, so we'll see what Seaver Drolsom will have to do for the Lewis side, and Prayer will get some medical attention. Norway, a bit of a hotbed in the volleyball world these days. Good pass in. And a nice back row attack from Max Rocky, still staying in there. So.
Yeah, staying in there. He's doing okay. I mean, even if he's not jumping his best like we talked about before, he can still score. He can see it. He's got the range. He's got the vision to be able to carry this team.
Tyler Simpson with that tricky jump float gets Stanford in trouble again. Lamp deflected and able to score the point, as there are Lewis players just flying all over the court here on defense. They play a very physical brand of volleyball, and it's worked against their favor a little bit tonight, Selena.
I'm not sure what happened there with that deflection, or I couldn't see in the right back area of the court where the defender was.
These guys do know they play again tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah, they're going hard, man.
There's a nice attack down the line, but Lou gets the dig. Rotman in transition, high over the block, throws it over. Lewis keeps it alive, jousted at the net. Drolsom this time, second opportunity, and he scores off the block. So Drolsom making an impact, another left-handed attacker for Lewis.
1 for 1, so that's it's nice that he's able to step in and see if he's got a wicked left-hand jump serve.
So here is the Norwegian at the end line. It's his first serve in. Passed well. Snowy out of the back row and gets blocked 29 feet back into the court for a Lewis point.
That's a big block. Perfectly timed. Seeing that back row attack coming. Really well executed by Lewis.
Drolsom again, his second serve catches the net. Passed well, and Ethan Hill right on cue when Stanford needed it. He attacks the seam and scores with the crossbody. Unfortunately for Stanford, after that attack, he goes back to serve.
I know.
Makes his serve, though. Good pass in from Roki. And right back, Lewis comes through the middle again. Michael Sack that time scores the point.
Again, using all areas of the court in front of the setter, right in front, a little bit of a push and then a gap. So Lewis doing a nice job getting their hitters some space to swing.
Brillhart missed his last serve. This one makes it over. Well passed, though. And Gates through the middle. So a little middle on middle on middle action the last three plays.
Back and forth. They're handling the ball well, and they're gonna run it if they can.
Run it till it gets stopped.
That's it. That block just did not get over on time.
Litsky now goes strong with the jump serve, gets the overpass. Chance for Stanford. Gates again in the middles, keep firing on all cylinders for Stanford.
Litsky with that tough jump serve, forcing the overpass. It's going to be an easy one again, right in his lap. His middles have been up, they've been available, and they've been effective.
Here's Litsky again. Passed by Gibbs. That middle attack gets picked up. Lou steps in, goes with the back, bumps out. Rotman just free balls it over. Chance for Lewis now. Cowling one too many times to the well as that setter attack doesn't go over the net.
Try to work his way around the block, turn it behind his head or turn it across his body. Just didn't even clear the net. Somebody bleeding? What's happening?
Training staff for the Lewis Flyers are really earning their paycheck tonight.
There's a lot going on over there right now. It must be
More
something on
blood
the ground.
On the court, I believe.
Yeah. So everyone can take some time to talk to their teams and regroup here. But I think, yeah, they're wiping up the floor again.
Gives us a chance to stretch our legs a little bit
Sure
here.
does. See what's going on.
The view's a little bit better when you stand up in the broadcast booth. Wish we could stand up the whole time, actually. Fortunately, fans behind us don't want to see us blocking their view.
No, not necessarily.
You maybe, not me for sure. So this looks like it'll be a quick one as the court is cleaned and ready to get back to action. And we'll retake our seats.
So right now,
Confirmed there was some blood on the court that needed to be cleaned up. Litsky back to action. Stanford up by 5. Rocket from the left side, and his attack goes into the antenna. And the lead grows for Stanford.
again, forcing them off the net a little bit. Litsky going back there, ripping his jump serve, and Lewis passing the ball at about 13, 14 feet off the net.
Litsky on a nice service run. 6-point advantage now for the Cardinal. And make it 5 with that service error. Substitution for Lewis. Ryan Collins enters the game to serve. And he misses his jump float serve, so he'll get subbed right back out again, and Michael Sack will re-enter the match. Michael says to his teammate, I could have done that.
Well, you know.
Rotman with that really high toss. Goes with the off speeder and gets it to fall.
That was a beautiful serve.
Precision of that serve, Salima. Wow.
To get it to sink like that, right behind the middle, right in front of the left side passer. Oh, that was a nice serve.
So that service ace forces Dan Friend to call his second timeout. The Lewis serve reception is stacked on the left side of the court, right, with Tyler Simpson, the middle blocker, all the way over at the sideline. He's got Max Rocket right behind him, so it's just a communication thing between the two of them. Middle blockers aren't usually known to be good, solid passers,
right,
other than, you know, your broadcast partner. But, you know, in this instance, you know, you want to let the outside hitter pass, but he's got a bum ankle.
For sure. I mean, that's all. It's tough because when he goes back to jump serve, I mean, the middle blocker isn't expecting maybe the tape. Maybe he's got to.
That's his responsibility,
right?
For sure.
That's
yeah.
it. So when it starts coming at you, you're like, what's going on? And it's in that in-between area of the court. That's a challenge.
Gotta want to pass that ball.
Listen, I do.
I do. Come on. Stick my long arms out there and try to pass it. I got a good platform. So after that Lewis timeout, Stanford now out to a 7-point advantage here in set number 3. Will Rotman at the end line. He's back with a strong serve. Out of system. Drolsom finds some daylight in that block and gets the ball down for the point.
Drolsom's been doing a fine job. He's scoring. They're not afraid to set him. An effective attacker right now, while Prayer is on the bench, still getting some help.
Rotman with the tip over the block, picked up. Now he goes back to Brillhart. That one goes back over to the Lewis side. Paint brushed. right back to self-cover, too strong. Stanford will take the point.
That's a tough one. You want to take your time with that ball when it comes back at you and just not really react. Let it fall a little bit. Handle that ball. 2 hands.
Always 2 hands, and Gates gets replaced by Brule for Stanford at the end line. This jump serve finds the court, passed well by Gibbs. Oh, but Kevin Lamp with the stuff down block against Max Roque right there.
Simpson came up a little wonky after that ball hit him in the side of the face. And he's laughing about it.
And a little insult to injury after getting aced, then takes one off the temple. Brule again gets the trickler. Gibbs goes outside to Drolsom on the left. The triple block can't find the court, so Lewis will take the point.
Drolsom hitting him out of trouble on that out-of-system play.
Drolsom doing a good job, like you said a few moments ago. Salima Prayer over there, he's got his warm-up jacket on, so whatever he's dealing with, looks like he'll be doing it from the sidelines. Jump serve now, passed well by Rotman. Lamp stutter steps, gets dug real hard into the net. That ball didn't clear the net system, and Stanford takes it. Lewis is going to make, Stanford making a substitution. Snowy gets replaced by Chris Kelly, the 6'2" junior out of El Segundo, California. His first action of the match. Left-handed jump float serve. Back row attack, blocked up, saved. Rotman's there. Lamp sets it over. Lewis comes right back on the counterattack out of the back row. Score the point.
They've been very good at running that back row attack on the perfect pass after setting the middle a couple of times, and they go back with it. But this is a good opportunity for Stanford to get somebody in there, a serving sub, being up 21 now 14, a pretty significant lead. But again, it's never safe.
Lewis making a substitution as well, 6'8", redshirt senior. Antonio Elias comes in. Native of Puerto Rico, goes with that high toss jump serve. Out of nowhere and gets the ace off of Rotman.
Cold off the bench, comes in. Looks like he's been playing all night.
Seizing the opportunity. What can he follow it up with? That's the real question, Salima.
It is.
High toss, good footwork. Catches the tape, but Lou is there. Lamp with a high ball against 3 blockers, and the smallest one of the 3, Colt Brillhart, shuts it down.
Brillhart gets there. They know they're not going back to Snowy in that ball. It's an odd angle and a weird position, so they get all 3 blockers there ready on time.
Coach Costi not going to call a timeout just quite yet. As Elias is 2 for 2 on this service run. Taking his time. High toss once again. This time, good pass from Rotman. Back quick. Hill gets blocked back. Here comes Lamp. High off the hands, deflected. Chance for Lewis. Drolsom goes down the line, but wait, we have a net violation called against Stanford. And Lewis will take that point. Now Coach Costi calls a timeout.
Really good volleyball being played right now on the side of Lewis, and I love that serving coming in, taking his time. You can see him visualize when he's about to jump serve, looking up, taking a breath. Like, those routines are so important. And coming off the bench, needing to close the gap here, that's an excellent job.
Antonio Elias has done a great job putting the pressure right onto Stanford's side. the serving substitute, making a service ace, and then 2 points added on to that. The native of Naranjito, Puerto Rico here.
Yep.
6'8". Listed as a middle hitter. Doing a good job from the inline, contributing where he can.
You see the stat leaders there, as we expected. And unfortunately, Prayer's on that board, and unfortunately, he is out of the match. But again, we continue to talk about Drolsom coming in his stead and doing a fantastic job getting after it here.
Yeah, seizing the opportunity that's been placed in front of him, as is number 18 in white, Antonio Elias. Serving again now, his 4th serve of this run. Strong serve into the seam, gets Stanford out of system. Here comes Snowy. Brillhart can't get over the net. Snowy will score the point.
That's what they want to do. That's the matchup. Setting that ball overhead, getting Snowy on Brillhart.
So Stanford fights off that run. It's now 22-17. Kevin Lamp at the inline. And he blasts that one into the net. Just giving it away, not forcing Lewis to earn their points. Drolsom steps up now, the left-hander. And he returns the favor with his own service miss.
And back and forth, and
just when you thought you were going to see another Lewis comeback,
right,
that service error might be the nail in the coffin now. 23-18 for Stanford. Serve in. Overhead to Drolsom against the double block, and Stanford can't shut it down. So Lewis fights it off and scores on that side out.
Rotman definitely frustrated. He saw it coming. He was in a good position. Couldn't finish the play. But Drolsom, again, very effective out of the back row.
Cole Brillhart looking to make a run now. Passed well. Here comes Rotman high, dug up. Middle attack gets picked up as well from Stanford. Rotman's second chance, and he gets blocked that time. Sack and Calling were there for the double block.
Lewis getting some energy there, finding some momentum. See if they can push it through here to the end.
I have to think Costi will call another timeout if Lewis scores a point. But they serve it into the net, let Stanford off the hook.
That's tough. That's a jump float where you're just serving a spot, serving a position. That's a tough one. If you're ripping it on the jump serve, you get it. But
set point now for Stanford. 4 chances to close it out. Good jump serve down the line. High ball. Rocky goes high off the hands, picked up by Lamp. Chance for Stanford. Back quick to Gates. Dug by Gibbs. Controlled swing once again. Lou with the dig. Chance now for Rotman to finish. Not yet. Rocky into the hands but covered. Rocky again, and this time he misconnects. Sends that ball into the stands, and Stanford takes set number 3 on the hitting error. 25-20 over Lewis, now leading the match 2-1.
good rally to end it. Watching both teams out of system. I mean, that it comes down to that when you're just banging balls and digging the ball off the net. And who's going to be able to score out of system and really put that ball away in trans? And unfortunate.
You would think a healthy Max Rocky, jumping at his normal height, not limited by that kind of bum ankle that he has, would have probably put that ball on the court. But you can't make excuses.
Nope.
Stanford played a pretty clean set that time.
They did. They played
Built
well.
a good lead, Lewis did their best to fight back. They just ran out of time. That service error by Brillhart at the end there to give Stanford set point was really the deciding factor.
And ball control, really good on the side of Stanford. Lou handling the pass, getting the middles involved again, especially Hill. My goodness, just so fast and quick. And anytime they needed that, and they had the ability to set him, he was able to get it done. So that's something you're sure they're going to continue to do. Rotman needs to kind of come back again a little bit. Had a couple of errors and frustrated plays, but he was good from the service line in that set. Ripping it, moving it around, the dropper in front of the passers as well. Litsky got his serve going, so they were good point scoring and very effective from the service line in that set.
Yeah, Stanford did a great job in their serve reception as well in set number 3. Really allowed them to utilize their middles, Nathaniel Gates and Ethan Hill, who has been just unstoppable through the middle for Stanford. But one thing about this Lewis team, we've seen they don't give up the fight.
No. And they had everything possible go on their side of the net.
If they were a ship, they would be held together right now by duct tape and shoestrings.
Without question.
I know they're an aviation-based university, but I couldn't think of a good analogy with an airplane.
No, it's true. I mean, they're fighting back, coming back on the court. We'll see.
I would not count them out.
No,
I would
either.
expect them to come right back and respond. They've got nothing to lose. They're down their starting opposite. Drolsom's done a good job coming in. I expect to see him start this set. Rocky's got to just keep doing what he's doing, not overextend himself. Do what he can do and look for some help from his teammates. That's all that he's got. He's got to be able to
and
look to his teammates for some support.
And when they're passing well and they can get their middles going as well, I mean, they've been effective. So we'll take a look at the stats here. We finally got them in our lap. Snowy with 15 kills, leading everyone on the night. But really, right now, Stanford out hitting. They're hitting 344. Lewis hitting 257. Siding out and point scoring just slightly better, 67% side out. Stanford, Lewis at 63% side out, 37% point scoring, and 32%.
Now Coach Friend making me eat my words as Prayer getting the start here in set number 4.
You never know, see?
So it just shows you can never make assumptions in this sport.
But
I actually think Antonio Elias is starting in the other middle hitter position, as Tyler Simpson has an ice bag held up against his cheek.
We saw that
contact that he got in the face.
He's still laughing about it.
Must have been a really hard one. Anyways, back to it. Lamp with a good, strong jump serve to start set number 4. Rocket goes hard angle through the hands of Lou and scores the opening point.
There's a little more pop, a little more speed on that swing. Looks like he's getting off the floor a little bit better now.
Antonio Elias comes into the front row, getting the start here in set number 4. So I was 50-50.
Yeah.
I was half right, half wrong in my assumptions.
Right.
Chance for Stanford. Oh, but Elias stops Ethan Hill. No one's been able to do it, but Antonio says, I can.
He's up early. Again, anticipating it. Jumps as the set's going and can beat him.
Making an impact. Antonio Elias for his squad now. Go sack. Good pass by Rotman. Litsky, who has not attacked the ball much tonight, calls his own number that time.
Well, and he can be effective at the net as well. They need to have different options, certainly in the two-hitter rotations. We talk about that all the time, especially if the pass isn't perfect. It's nice to see him use his offense.
Hill with a good jump serve. Set Prayer gets his first attempt in about 25 minutes, and it's a block point for Will Rotman.
Nice move by Rotman, making up for a block earlier. He just wasn't quite over the net.
2-2 now. Early action of set 4. Good serve by Hilt down the line. Knock it from the left. And there is a little more pop in his step. So that ibuprofen's finally getting the bloodstream.
He handled the pass well as well. Rips the jump serve down the line, pass to attack.
Calling. Good jump serve. Passed well, though. Here comes Snowy out of the back row, and Gibbs can't pick that one up.
Really see Snowy tip, so you're going to be deep down the line, expecting him to rip that ball, and Gibbs just couldn't come up with it.
High toss from Litsky. Strong jump serve, but passed well. Rocket from the right side, deflected and dug. Here's a chance for Rotman. Tight set. Against the triple block. Lewis keeps it alive. Prayer goes on 2. Lineswoman called it out, but it's overruled by our first official pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah, right away, and no argument on the side of Stanford.
So Lewis will take the point, and now a 1-point advantage here. Serve catches the net, passed well. Rotman from the right side, down the line at Gibbs, and that's a point.
Ball still got to play on the attack by Will Rotman. Points from the Cardinal.
Rotman trying to help him up and didn't want any help.
Just going to move on here as Rotman goes to the end line to serve. And comes right back around to miss that serve into the net.
Lewis, 5-74. Elias back to serve, 4 Flyers.
So Antonio Elias had a nice service run in set 3. His first serve here of set 4. Passed well from Lou. Snowy gets the kill off a great set against the flow from Litsky.
Beautiful set. Pass was tight and forward, and he flung it back perfectly for Snowy to still be able to hit that ball down the line as well. Don't want to hit it straight in the middle blocker. Hit that matchup that you have down the line.
Nathaniel Gates, the middle blocker for Stanford, gets Lewis out of system. Prayer, though, goes with the roll shot. Snowy's there. Lamp blocked and covered. Litsky plays it. He's a back row setter. The ball broke the plane. That makes him a back row blocker. Excuse me, back row attacker. Both in the same. It's illegal. Point goes to Lewis.
Exactly. It's not, can't do it. And it's tough because he's so big and these guys are so physical. They can go get that ball. They can go reach and bring it back, but you can't do it.
Prayer. It's a good snap on that serve. Here comes Lamp, though. Hard into the angle. Gets it done.
Lamp has been effective on that fast set to the outside, but also running that bick a little bit when they've had the opportunities. He's a quick hitter for Stanford.
True freshman Theo Snowy having a nice match for the Stanford Cardinal. Easy read by Litsky. Rotman with the jump set and gets the kill from his teammate. Wow, showing his athleticism. Wasn't the prettiest, but it was effective.
No, it was great. Coming in, pretending like he's going to hit the ball and ends up setting it.
Just pushing the envelope there
a
little bit. Seen a lot of international players utilize that play. Snowy, strong jump serve, and it's an ace for Theo.
Hits that ball hard and right in the seam.
Let's see what he can follow it up with now. Strong jump serve in the seam, and it's back-to-back service aces. Doubling down is Theo Snowy.
That's big. It's big for the freshman. Coming in there with some confidence, with some heat. He's getting fired up right now, getting the team going.
And that leads Dan Friend to call his first time out here of set number 4. Down by 3 points, trying to slow down the momentum of Stanford and just talk it over with his team here a little bit. Back to it here after the Lewis timeout. Theo Snowy on a run. This one passed up by Gibbs. And Rocket out of the back row scores the point. So a nice timeout there called by Lewis.
I saw that be so effective again early on in that first set comeback by Lewis. And now as he's feeling more comfortable, we'll see how much more they're able to use him.
Brillhart gets his serve in here. Snowy, and he goes high off the hands to score his 18th kill of the match, leading all scorers.
Hitting 565, and then I can't do the math. Now he was hitting 565, and now he's hitting.
Front runner for the post-match interview with Selima Rockwell right now is Theo Snowy. Kevin Lamp from the inline catches the tape. Back quick. Nice deflection chance for Rotman. Tipped over, and he finds the open space.
Really smart play. Tipping that ball to the middle of the court.
Stanford adding to their lead now, up by 4. We're going to get, it's like a double substitution for Lewis. Tyler Morgan is going to come in, a 6'7" setter, as is Seaver Drolsom into the front row. So utilizing that double sub, now having 3 hitters back in the front row.
See if they can get a little more offense, more arms to attack the ball here.
And the delay of game ices the server. Lamp misses that one long. Call that a coach's point for Dan Friend, who's been with Lewis for quite some time. Really brought this program onto a national stage. Sack with the jump float serve, passed by Rotman. Litsky just tees it up for Ethan Hill to go up and get it, sir.
That's the thing about Hill. I mean, that wasn't even first tempo, wasn't super quick, but he saw the block in front of him, made a play on it, high off the hands.
Good serve. Quick attack. Antonio Elias gets his first attack point of the match through the middle for Lewis.
And Tyler Morgan with a beautiful set out of the middle. He came in the game late, running the 6-2, getting some more offense going.
Drolsom goes with that left-handed jump serve, passed well by Lou. Bit of a misconnection there with Lamp out of the back row. Lewis with the chance, and Litsky goes on 2. Ball still in the air, but that'll be a point for Stanford. Coach Friend some extra conversation with our first official about where Lamp contacted that ball. He was a back row player, sent it over in front of the 3-meter line, but below the top of the net and didn't jump, so it was a legal contact. Costi pops up off the bench to defend his players, and that serve finds the court. Drolsom comes right back with a nice attack out of the back row.
Another good play by Drolsom, and again Morgan running the offense, moving the ball around a little bit, getting something going here. He's been hanging out, waiting for this moment, calling on the bench. And Morgan stepping in.
Good serve from Rocket, passed well. Rotman on the right side, Drolsom with the dig. This connection with Elias. Another chance for Lewis. Brillhart. Litsky's there. A couple one-handed saves, but that ball's not going to come back.
It's a good effort by Stanford, trying to come up with it, but 2 touches that just didn't get better. You know, always want to try to make the next play better, but it couldn't control it.
So Lewis hanging around as usual. Find themselves down by 2. Roki now with another jump serve. Wow, good one right at Lamp. Lou has to step into set. Over to Snowy. Brill hard against 3 blockers. Lou gets the dig. Another chance. That set goes over the net and out of bounds. Unfortunate turn there for Stanford. Lewis will take the point.
A little strong on that set, trying to get it all the way out there to the pin. Litsky just couldn't nail it where he wanted to.
Yeah, that was a bit overzealous on the strength behind that set, unfortunately for Nathan Litsky. Picked the right player, but not just too strong that time.
So Lewis now making all kinds of changes. Different lineup, different setter, different middle. And it's working. I mean, that's what Coach Friend said. He said, we've got some depth, and I want to use it. I'm not afraid to use it, mix things up, try some different things. And they've all been stepping up.
And in the psychological aspect for Stanford, seeing these different players do different things that, you know, we're 3.5 sets into this match. Stanford has to make all these adjustments now, and it's tripping them up a little bit.
It is. The offense is a little bit different, the blocking's a little bit different, and that changes things. So they have to figure out how to steady out and just play their game. I mean, they're good at what they do. You know, you can get the balls to the pin, hit the ball high and deep, find the mismatches on the court when you're running your offense, those sort of things, and keep the pressure on Lewis serving-wise, and they're going to be fine, but just try not to do too much. You know, try not to overplay this or overthink it.
Stanford just has to settle in a little bit, pass the ball first, take care of that first contact. In those extended rallies, just put up a good hittable ball and not try to put it perfectly where it needs to be. Let your hitter go up and be aggressive with it. Back to it now. Aggressive serve out of the timeout, but he misses wide. So Stanford will get the side out, and Rotman steps back to serve. High toss, jump serve, takes a little bit off, roll shot. Elias gets dug, Rotman goes left side to Lamp against 3 blockers, and Lamp finds a way through.
Space that may have been between even the hands of the middle blocker, but nice play by Lamp, finding some space.
Stanford getting the point back. It's 15-12 now. Another roll shot serve right at Brillhart. Big attack. Max Rocky scoring out of the back row. Antonio Elias a little quiet through the front row that time, but this is where he can do some damage, is at the inline. Catches the tape, Litsky goes to Snowy. Picked up. Elias gets the dig. Rolls him down the line. Lou is there. Snowy has to get creative. Throws that one into the block and gets it through for the point.
What a dig by Lou on that back row attack. Controlling it, keeping that ball high in the air, and a smart play to finish off.
Substitution for Stanford. Number 6 coming in, Luke Turner, the 6'6" junior outside hitter from Hermosa Beach, California. High toss jump serve. Nice pass in. Brillhart tips it right to the open court in front of Litsky. And Lewis gets an easy side out that time.
It's a smart play. You got a big block in front of you. You know there's a space behind the block to score.
Turner's substitution gets reversed as Gates comes back in for Stanford. Morgan will serve. Tyler Morgan, the sophomore setter that's come into the match. Passed well. Hill gets blocked but covered. Rotman goes over to Snowy. He gets covered. Hill was there. Snowy's second chance, that time down the line. Scores another point for Stanford.
Second ball even faster, better rhythm. Litsky doing a nice job getting that block to hold a little bit and getting Snowy that one-on-one swing.
That swing gives Snowy 20 kills on the match, leading all attackers. Can't wait to hear what he has to say if Stanford is able to pull off this victory here. Roki out of the back row again. Only one blocker in front of him. Goes wrist away to the corner.
Moving it around again, finding that space and those gaps, and that is a weapon that you don't see all the time, where someone consistently hits that ball out of the back row in every single area of the court.
Jump floats her from Brillhart right at the libero. Questionable choice right there as Rotman makes him pay. I mean, you might as well have just missed your serve when you give a lollipop like that over to the libero.
Yeah, I feel like it was a miss, but that's the one he missed the serve going in that area before. So, I don't know.
Kevin Lamp now catches the tape. Right side set to Drolson, gets control. Litsky gets the dig. Here comes Rotman. Utilizes that shot that he does. He's been doing it all match. It's been questionable at times, but it works that one.
And, I think it's something that once you really find it, and it is so effective, so you don't have to try to blast and try to find the hands, get slowed down a little bit. You can just find the middle of the court.
19 serving 15 now. Is time running out on Lewis? Lamp goes for the jump serve. Right at Gibbs. Good pass. Litsky with a nice block, but it's covered. And now a free ball over to Stanford. 4 attackers. Rotman gets this set, and he misses it wide.
He wanted it so bad.
Went for that inside tempo set. Saw the gap in the block
Ran
in the wide
it,
open
yep.
court.
It was there. It was there for the taking, and he knew it. Missed it just a little bit wide.
Michael Sack now serving after that hitting error. Low pass, and Litsky throws it down with a big left hand.
Perfect pass.
Aiden Peters coming in to serve for Ethan Hill on Stanford's side.
Really nice, effective dump by Litsky.
20 serving 16 now. Good service pressure from Peters. Rocky gets picked up. Lamp with a diving save and a free ball chance for Lewis. Elias through the middle on that 31, attacks the seam and scores.
So good on that free ball play. They found some space, moved them away from the setter a little bit. Stressed the block a lot. Lewis getting something going here. It's still a 3-point game. It's not out of reach by any stretch.
Not out of reach, and this is exactly where Lewis applies the pressure to their opponent. Now Now Drolson at the end line. Goes through his pre-serve routine, the native of Norway. Good left-handed jump serve. Pass by Lamp. Snowy from the back row. Solo block by Max Rogge. Barely getting that one, but it worked.
Barely got it. And he knows he was flying over there. Got his hands in the right shape and got the block.
Now just a 2-point advantage for Stanford. Drolson from the end line, goes down the line and misses wide, trying to place it to the corner. Service error at a critical moment.
That happened last time, not in this exact spot, but just those moments where you can take advantage of the situation. You can put yourself in that position to win the set.
Litsky with the strong jump serve. Right back on Rocket, gets the set. Louis played it. Snowy gets creative, self-covers though. Rotman with the roll shot. Snowy saves him. Rotman clips the tape and misses wide. Pitter patter.
Talked about this before, just Stanford needs to stay steady, do what they do well, not try to do too much. But Lewis, again, making their way back.
Rocky showing some heart after that ankle injury, but unfortunately misses that serve into the net. 22-19 for Will Rotman at the end line now. High toss, aggressive step close. Well passed though. Brillhart goes to the tip. Gates is there. Rotman sets to Lamp. Drolson with the dig through the middle to Elias, and he scores on the counterattack.
Lewis slowing the ball down a little bit, controlling it, controlling those touches, getting that ball perfectly to the setter. So they're able to run their offense right now and get something going.
Blocking substitution coming in for Lewis. Brillhart comes out, gets replaced by Chase Silichowski. 6'6" redshirt freshman from Germantown, Wisconsin. Elias steps up to the inline. High toss. Aggressive serve, but a great pass through the middle to Gates, but he misses long.
Tough miss at this juncture. A perfect pass, got the middle going, which is exactly what they wanted to have happen. Time to take a timeout and slow this down a little bit.
I think this is the right time to call your timeout for John Costi, his second and final timeout of set number 4. Clinging to a 1-point advantage with just the tips of his fingernails right now.
And again, Lewis going deep into the roster, calling on everyone. Everyone's number's getting called, and everyone is taking care of business. That's the most impressive thing. You don't see someone sub in and it's like, wow, they just can't get it done, or they're not doing anything. They're all actually playing their role well and stepping up in a major way right now against a very good Stanford team.
Lewis definitely showing their depth of their roster. A small army over there in their white uniforms with blue and gold shoes. Clashes a little bit with their colors, but I'm sure
they're comfortable.
Comfortable and effective.
Yeah.
That's what they'd say. Perhaps on sale.
We take a look at points. Stanford 57 kills, Lewis 55. Lewis with 39 errors. That's a big difference.
Back to it after the Stanford timeout. Elias at the inline, down by 1. Can Lewis make the comeback here in set number 4? And he misses long. That toss was not where he needed it.
No.
He left himself too deep into the court. The adjustment set that serve long. I like this challenge by
well.
Danfred. He's got nothing to lose.
Absolutely. Take some time. Have a conversation with your team. He knows it's not, well, he doesn't know it's not going to go his way, but if it doesn't.
Pretty sure everyone in the entire state of Texas knows that that ball was out of bounds.
Yeah, and he's got to, the next server for Stanford's got to think about it here. Got to come back after a semi-timeout and get after it and not miss the serve.
So it is confirmed out of bounds. That challenge unsuccessful for Lewis. So Stanford now 23-21. Gates at the end line for Stanford, 2 points away from winning the match. Jump float serve passed well through the middle, block back, and Hill is there to shut it down.
That hit him in the face. What did he block that with? Those his hands?
My view is obstructed, so I couldn't see it. It was effective nonetheless, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer as Lewis calls their final timeout.
Lewis in their two-hitter rotation right now. He's got the middle in front. See if they can spread it just a little bit, hold the block, either set the D-ball or go into the outside. Because right now, Stanford was in a pretty good bunch, expecting that middle attack. We'll see where they go with this side, excuse me, this side out swing.
So Stanford, after this timeout, will be serving for match point. Three chances to take the match over Lewis. Nathaniel Gates, their middle blocker, will have the honor to serve at match point now. And here we go. First chance at match point for Stanford. Gates, jump floats right at Brillhart, out of system. Gibbs, high ball set. And Brillhart swings through the block and down. Somehow scoring the point.
Found a way to sneak that one through the block.
Nico Palla, the other libero, comes in for Lewis. Still match point as Christian Prayer now will serve for Lewis. His jump serve over to Rotman. They go to Snowy. High hands, and Snowy gets it done. Says, I want to talk to Salima. Stanford takes set number 4, 25-22, and they win the match over Lewis 3-1.
Well, an unbelievable match by both teams, but certainly Lewis coming back, making a push, and really never giving up. You got to give them all the credit in the world. They played as hard as they can through all the adversity, all the injuries, and a ton of players on the court. So fantastic job by Lewis. But Stanford just proved to be the better team, handled the ball, passing well. Service pressure really caused Lewis some fits, but the offense was clicking and flowing really well.
Certainly a lot of heart shown by the team from Lewis University, battling back throughout that match. Constantly seemed to be down by 3, 4, 5 points, but always staying in there, never counting themselves out, and giving themselves chances to come back.
It never looked like they were down. If you watched them, if you didn't know the score and you watched them play and just watched their demeanor, you would never know it. They were playing aggressive the entire time. But Stanford, talented team, a very good setter, an excellent libero, and they have the offensive weapons. They're gonna cause teams a ton of fits this year.
Yeah, congratulations to Stanford getting that 4-set victory over Lewis. Clearly advantage them. They've got more experienced players. They had their own adversity, you know, a little shaky start here and there. They gave up that set one loss to Lewis when they had two set points, I believe, but had the wherewithal, the fortitude to stay in there, the mental focus to get it done, and they take the victory here in the second match of the night. We'll get a post-match interview here shortly. Salima Rockwell is going to go track down our player of the match in just a moment for a few questions and some good insights to what they experienced throughout that match. Obviously, Stanford now 5-0 on the season. As I just got an updated box score, just a quick review of the statistics through that match. Stanford winning the block totals 8-7. Meanwhile, attack percentage 339 in favor of Stanford, 282 for Lewis. And Max Rocket, the leading point scorer for Lewis, 18 kills on 45 attacks. He injured his ankle in set number 2, came back in and still led his team. A real gutsy effort by number 9 in white, Max Roquet. And meanwhile, for Stanford, Theo Snowy will be the match MVP. He receives the golden ball from Rob on the mic. Gets 21 kills on 32 attempts, hits 500. Only 5 errors. What a performance by the true freshman, 6'8", opposite hitter from Berkeley, California. Theo Snowy is with our Salima Rockwell.
All right, Theo, congratulations. Player of the match. Excellent job tonight. You had 21 kills, hit 500. A fabulous match. How did you feel out there? How did you feel playing tonight?
I don't know. I had a great time. It's just so much fun to be out here in Austin. Great fans, great crowd, and I love my teammates. And it's always a good day to play volleyball, I guess. So yeah, no, just relax, hype sometimes, and you gotta have a happy medium of the both. And yeah, it was a good day.
Oh, I love it. It's always a good day to play volleyball, is right. So talk to me about after the first set, when you guys were in a good lead, Lewis went and took it. What was the conversation on the bench?
I mean, we both, the whole team felt confident in our abilities. Obviously, we had the game for a large part of it, and they kind of came out at the end. They made some great plays, played really, really well. We just had to, focus on handling the kind of end game, the final points. I think we get a little stiff, and we don't kind of take care of the easy stuff. So I think that was kind of what it was about.
Sure. So looking forward, tomorrow you've got another match coming ahead of you, so it's good. It's a great tournament. And what are you guys anticipating or looking forward and ahead?
Yeah, I mean, Penn State's a big physical team. They have a lot of heavy hitters, so staying disciplined on our blocks and making some good defensive plays is going to be huge. And just being keyed in on certain passes, obviously important. It's not really my job, but I'm supporting my teammates in that endeavor, of course. And yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on player of the match, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Back to you.
And congratulations to our match MVP, Theo Snow. You heard it right there. Great insights from him as he receives the golden volleyball here as we look at the final statistics from the match. Stanford with 58 attacks to Lewis's 56, 8 blocks to 7. Stanford limiting their errors to 32 versus 41. And Stanford takes the match victory 3-1 in the second match of our second annual First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge here from Austin, Texas. For my co-host Salima Rockwell and everyone here at Volleyball TV, our producers and cameramen, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Matt Prosser. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time here on Volleyball TV.